What it do, my people? This your boy FJ3000 back with a brand new video from hot off the press, and we got some crazy hot news that happened over the weekend. I'm pretty sure everybody from their grandma to their moms, their dads, their sisters, brothers, nieces, nephews, we've all heard the news about Deion Sanders headed to Colorado. Crazy, huh? Which a lot of people is pissed. A lot of people happy, a lot of people excited, but it's people out here that are pissed to the highest of pissivity. Ain't even a word, but we're gonna use it anyway. They mad because this man has done what he said he was gonna do at Jackson State for the HBCU, for the SWAC. That's what we'll say. We won't even say for the HBCU as a whole. We'll say for Jackson State / SWAC conference. He's done it. He's completed the assignment. I don't understand why people are so hard on him. I don't know if it's because the length of time. He was only there for 3 years. Or are you really not seeing the things that he done? Now, I took notes. I did some research because I want to try to come with as much facts as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run down a list of some of the things that he done in his short time at Jackson State. He got to Jackson State and he talked about how he wanted to bring more players to the SWAC conference, how he wanted to bring more top athletes to the SWAC conference, how he wanted to bring bigger names, bigger players to this conference. He done that. He built new facilities at Jackson State. He built new locker rooms. He built new training facilities. He built 2 new practice fields. Of course, he didn't do it on his own dime. He reached out to Walmart. That's who built those facilities. And here's the thing that a lot of people may not know. This man, on his own dime, he went to Mississippi Valley State. Fields are horrible there. Talked with the head coach about building a new football facility there. What head coach does that? I don't care what level you on, what level coaching you're on. What head coach will leave his program, drive to another program, another university, and talk about building a facility, new football facility? What coach does that? He talks about bringing the SWAC up. And here's what the commissioner had to say. I'm going to read it word for word what the SWAC commissioner had to say. The SWAC commissioner was asked, did you expect Sanders to have the kind of impact on the HBCU? And he said he has always been around stars. He's never been around a superstar. This was on 60 Minutes. Jackson State on 60 Minutes. HBCU on 60 Minutes. When does that happen? And the guy said, he goes on to say, I've never been around a superstar. He said a superstar can enter any room and make changes. He said that Prime had opened doors for the conference that they could not get into. Sponsors like Pepsi, sponsors like American Airlines, sponsors like Procter & Gamble. This is some of the things that he spoke about doing and turned around and done it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure some things that Prime spoke about doing that he didn't get to do as well. We always hear about people in higher positions talk about doing things, but some of those things don't get done. Whether you're the president of the United States, whether you're the president of a college, whether you're the superintendent of a school, whether you a parent. We tell our kids all the time things that we're going to do for them, but sometimes they don't get done. So I'm pretty sure some things that Prime said he was going to do that didn't happen. But these are a few things that did happen. And people are overlooking those things because they're hurt, because they're in their feelings. And I'm not telling you not to be upset. I'm not saying don't be mad. But I'm sitting here giving you facts of things that he wanted to do. He even done things in the community that was outside of his pay, that he didn't get paid for, that he will not see a return on. So let's look at the resume before we start running Coach Prime in the mud, before we start dragging him for so many things. The man brought revenue to the HBCU. I don't remember the last time I done seen the HBCU championship game on ESPN2. That's what this past weekend championship game was. It was on ESPN2. And you got players that's from Southern that still get some looks. You got players from Jackson State that still get some looks. Now we have always known that the Bayou Classic is on NBC. It's been there for years. But a lot of time these SWAC schools, these HBCUs, they weren't getting major TV time. They wasn't getting that. College game day at Jackson State. Those are some of the things that gets these kids looks. And now we saying, okay, well, all he's going to do, he let these kids down. How? Don't you know there's plenty of these kids probably on the brink of suicide, on the brink of not going to school, period. But they changed their mind because of how Deion talked to him, of how Coach Prime sold himself to him. Every coach has to do what they have to do to get a kid in. He got a number one recruit in, man, at a HBCU. If I'm not mistaken, this guy was the number one player in the nation. That doesn't happen. And you're going to tell me he let that kid down? No, that kid is probably now going to follow him to Colorado. And here's another thing. It's some kids that was on that Jackson State team that probably would have never got the opportunity to play in the Power 5. But they went to Jackson State and bust their butt for Coach Prime. What make you think they can't get that Power 5 opportunity now and go play for Coach Prime at Colorado at a Power 5 school? Because of the hard work and dedication they put in for Prime at Jackson State, now they can possibly go do that at the Power 5 level with Coach Prime that they never wouldn't have got. Some of those kids never would have had the opportunity to play in a Power 5. Now they do. That Prime has made that jump. And once again, you've never heard me speak about money. You see all these people talking about, oh, he did it for the money. He did it for the money. I've been watching Coach Prime heavy for the last 3 years. And I'm a firm believer he didn't do it for the money. Don't think he done it for the money. Is money gonna play a role? Of course it is. It's definitely gonna play a role. Coach Prime said in his press conference, it was something that stuck out to me. And it wasn't even in the press conference. It was to his Jackson State players after they won the SWAC championship. He told his kids that I'm not doing it for the money. He said, when you do right by God, when you do what God asks you, and I don't even want to get real spiritual, but I'm just reiterating on what he said. He said, if you do right by God, you do what God tells you to do. You don't have to follow the bag. The bag will follow you. You don't have to follow the bag. The bag will follow you. He done what he had to do. He done what his assignment was at Jackson State. He helped do a lot of things. And if you don't believe it, do your own research. Just like I did. Do your own research. I don't have an issue with people being upset because people have feelings and people do get upset. But also look deeper into it. Look deeper into it and see what he done. Because there's a lot of people saying he didn't do nothing. Oh, he didn't do what he said he was going to do. He didn't this. He let the kids down. I even see people saying this man is trash. How? I want a real legitimate reason as to how Coach Prime is trash. And I want a real legitimate reason as to how he really let these kids down. Because coaches come and go all the time. Coaches, a lot of times, don't even give their players no explanation. Coaches, a lot of times, don't even talk to their players about being in the transfer portal. Coaches, a lot of times, don't even say, hey, come talk to me first before you make that decision so I can help lead you in the right direction. Still looking out for the kids. But he trash? The same coach that you calling trash is now finna give a lot of these kids that didn't have an opportunity to play in a Power 5 conference. A lot of them is going to get that opportunity now. They're going to get that opportunity now. To be on the big stage, to be on ESPN, to be on Sports Center every single weekend. They're going to get that opportunity now because of the groundwork that Coach Prime laid. Now, if that ain't SWAC, and if Coach Prime ain't SWAC, then who is? Like he said before, no knock to the other coaches in the SWAC conference. Of course, Coach Prime he can do things that some coaches can't do. That's true. And he came in and done that. Now he get to reap what he sowed. Let's stop being so hard on the man. That's all I'm asking. Do your own research and come up with how you really feel instead of looking at what everybody else posts and then you getting angry based off of that. Go do your own research. Once again, man, I'm for Prime. I still think he's going to do good in the community. If you go and look at his Colorado press conference, he's still talking about being a black man. He's still talking about helping black boys. He's still preaching that even in his Colorado press conference. It's some people you can't change, and Prime is one of them. He gonna be Prime Time. He gonna be Deion, and that's who he is, and that's who he's gonna always be. Be happy for the man. Be happy for him. I want to know what you guys really think. Give me your honest opinion. Don't give me what you done seen on social media. Do your own research. Come holler at me. Let's debate it. Let's talk about it. Again, this your boy 3000, and I'm out. Peace.